time. One time.
Standard.
One time. Sports, baby. Lego. Passing the prime.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Ashley Empowers. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Carrington.
And you're tuned in to another episode of 802
Game time.
So Carrington and I are back with another episode of 802 Game Time, where we answer the questions that you all send in about relationships, your walk with God, or anything in general. And before we jump into today's question, you guys, we wanted to let you know about our upcoming event in Dallas, Texas. Before the next step, couples enrichment. This is going to be a phenomenal workshop for married couples, seriously dating, and engaged couples. We are diving deep in your personal relationship. We're going to have assignments. We're going to have role plays. We're going to have so many amazing things that afternoon. It's 3 hours long and you do not want to miss it. So you can get your tickets at datingwithpurpose.org or click the link in the description box, and your ticket includes your significant other. So definitely check it out. But today, CB is going to read the question.
CB. So the question today says, so I've been married almost 9 years, and my husband and I have been having a rocky marriage. He's had several jobs, all of them only lasting 3 to 5 months, except his time in the military, which was 6 years. I was a stay-at-home working mom during his military time, and I would tell him how much I loved working from home and raising our son. Fast forward to him getting out of the Army, I did what I felt I needed to for our family and went back to school and got my degree and got to work. In 3 years, I went from making $9 an hour to making over $65K a year plus bonuses. All along, I would comment to my husband that my heart still would like to be home with our now 2 kids. He would say, maybe one day. I know you do. He was going to school 2 years ago, but stopped to stay at home with our daughter. This was something that I was not okay with, but I figured it was okay due to him saving us money on daycare expenses, as well as I could work without the stress of leaving our kids with a stranger. Tonight, he told me that he has no desire to go back to school and wants to raise our kids. All I heard was, you pay the bills and I'll be home while you worked hard. When I stayed home, the house was always clean. I worked while our son slept, and I volunteered at our church, worked out, and kept up with household duties most of the time since he would work 14 hours. Is it selfish of me not to want my husband to stay home? How do I go about telling him I am not happy with this decision? I have to add that my husband has made choices on his own a lot lately, and it has been at the expense of me. Like when we bought our house, he was supposed to come up with half of the money from his VA disability, and a week before we signed, he told me he didn't have the money. I ended up paying all of our fees, moving expenses, and bought 90% of our furniture and decor in our home. We also don't have sex often. I ask for dates. He gives me excuses why we can't go. I'm tired of it. I feel unfulfilled. I just laid here crying tonight asking God to help me. I know I'm not easy to love. My heart is hardened due to all of this, and I have to try to be happy sometimes when I know I'm not. Also, I feel it is my fault because he was never ambitious in college, but I loved him. I felt he changed once I saw he was successful in the military, and now I am almost feeling like I should have left him back then. Please help.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sending in this question, and I'm sorry that you're going through this, but one thing that I want to say is there's hope.
Always.
There is hope. And if being a stay-at-home dad is really uncomfortable for you, there's 3 things that I'm going to recommend. Number 1, I want you to pray for your husband for the next 30 days that God give him clarity on what he has called him to do.
That's really
Ask God to give him clarity every single day for the next 30 days. Ask God to give him clarity and ask God to give you discernment on what you need to be doing in this season. So that's number 1. Number 2 is to Google a counselor in your area that you guys can sit down and talk with. And you also may, if you think your husband is going to be reluctant to sitting down with someone, be praying that God soften his heart in order to do that.
Definitely.
So pray for him for 30 days, find a counselor and book an appointment with your counselor. Your job may have a benefit where you can set up a time with a therapist or a counselor. So you might want to check with your employer first. And number 3 is to sit down with your husband and have a visionary meeting. Ask him what his vision is for the next 5 to 10 years. Ask him where he sees your family going. Because to me, it sounds like your husband has lost his sense of purpose. Yeah. So really talk to him and say, babe, what's going on? What do you desire to do if money wasn't a factor, or our city, our location, if none of this was a factor? See where he is, because he may be lost. It's sounding like there's something deeper going on. So I would do those 3 things: praying for the next 30 days, sitting down with a counselor, and I guarantee after having a conversation and you guys getting on the same page and being intimate later that night, you will see a transformation happen. I guarantee, but you need to be disciplined to do that.
100%. And the 3 steps that Ashley just expressed was exactly 100% what you need to do moving forward. Like, there's really nothing for me to add to that, because she gave you clear, concise steps on exactly what you need to do to not just seek help, but also be a part of the help. She told you to pray for this relationship, to pray for your husband. She told you to have a conversation with your husband. She told you to go to counseling with your husband. All of those 3 things, those 3 steps, and even in that order, is going to help your relationship. It's going to fuel your relationship. And it's going to provide you guys the avenue and the space to have the necessary conversations that are needed to have from the place that they needed to be had for the progression of your relationship. You said that you've become hard to love because of your hardened heart. By you being in prayer for your spouse for 30 days, God is going to soften your heart. By you reaching out to a counselor and finding an individual who is, a Christian counselor who loves God and can provide biblical direction, that'll create a space of comfort, hopefully, for your husband to express himself. And then because your husband loves you, and he does because he married you and committed to being with you for the rest of his life, and you guys have kids, for you to say, hey, babes, let's sit down and have a vision meeting, that is going to bring so much confidence and comfort to him to be open, to be transparent about where he is and what he's going through. And that is an opportunity for you as his wife, as his helpmeet, as his rib, as his better half, let's be real, to help him get clarity, right, about what he desires, what the vision is, so that where he has questions right now, God can bless you with those answers over those 30 days of prayer to give him the direction that he needs to move forward and progress in this relationship in the best way, not just for himself, but every part of this relationship.
Yeah, and that's great. So also, if you're in the Dallas, Texas area, we want you to come to the Couples
100%.
Enrichment Experience. And matter of fact, we will gift you the tickets
Yes,
to come.
we will,
So
for sure.
If you happen to be in the area, just shoot me an email. The email address is below, and we would love to gift you 2 tickets to come on us. So thank you so much for sending in this question. If anyone else has questions for us, email us at info@802gametime.com. Make sure you're following us on social media. I'm at Ashley Empowers.
And I'm at the Carrington Brown.
And you guys, we want you to share this video.
Yeah.
Hit share, because you might have a family member, a coworker, someone who can benefit from this video. So please do us a favor and hit share, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out, y'all.